Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today I'm bringing you a Kickstarter preview of Party Panda Pirates from our friends over at Draco Studios and Detestable Games. Now, Party Panda Pirates falls into the line of animal-themed, family-focused games that they've released over the last few years, starting with War for Chicken Island and leading up to the world-renowned, or at least our game group-renowned Dodos Riding Dinos, and of course, Kiwi Chowdown. Now, Party Panda Pirates is heavily inspired from the Mario Party-themed genre of games, with a variety of mini-games you'll be playing against other players around the table that you get to select yourself as you explore and as you progress through the game, with the overarching objective of scoring and winning as many coins and then as many treasures as possible, so that you can be crowned the best, of course, Party Panda Pirate. Now, this is a sponsored Kickstarter preview video, but I do hope to have a non-sponsored gameplay video down the line as well. I've seen a lot of people in the Kickstarter comments saying that they'd love to see this game up and running, and it's such a riot and such a hoot that I'm hoping I can get a group together to sit down and play it. There's a lot of little mini-games that just cause the entire table to burst out laughing when someone takes the wrong step or does something slightly wrong. Now, in the prototype copy that I have here, I actually only have 6 of the eventually 18-plus mini-games they hope to release, and I've been watching as they've been revealing and unlocking and talking about those over on the Kickstarter campaign page. They've already launched, and they're doing extremely well, so follow the link in the top of the video description to go find out more information, see what they're unlocking, see what Kickstarter exclusives they have, and get involved in the conversation, because they're letting you all help choose and direct where some of these mini-games and some of the names of the mini-games actually go. Now, the way the gameplay will actually run is you're going to start off by using one of your little meeples and launching it out of the cannon here with the objective to land somewhere on an island. You'll score a coin if you land in the central point of the island, but depending on who has the most meeples on it, or the most pandas on it, that'll determine where the captain gets to actually select their minigame from. From there, depending on which island has the most meeples on it, the captain will select one of the 2 mini-games that have been placed there by the players. That will result in a competition, which we'll go through here in just a moment, that will then give you more points and more rewards depending on the turn order that you win in. From there, you'll roll a die, determining how far you as a player will move up here on this map, on the pirate hat, and that will give you either the negative loss of a coin, the positive gain of a coin, or the attempt to grab some treasure chests before other players actually grab them before you. The game will last for a total of 6 rounds, with 6 mini-games in between each round, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most treasure will be the ultimate victor. Now, like I said, I only have 6 of these mini-games here to show off in the prototype copy that I have, but they all revolve around a combination of strategy, pressure, luck, and sometimes a little bit of dexterity. So we'll walk through these mini-games and show you exactly how they function. Overall, the feeling and application of this game is really, really close to something like Mario Party on the table. The games aren't hard or complicated. They're usually fairly simple, and they require a different way to approach them depending on who you're playing with, and of course, how you are as a player and what minigame you're facing. But this turns into a laugh-out-loud riot of a mess of little puzzles that you're all scrobbling to defeat. And when something goes right, it's fantastic. But when something goes wrong, it's hilarious. All right, the cards that I have here, starting with All Aboard. All Aboard is going to be one of these little mini-game puzzles that requires you to have 4 dice, 4 cards, 1 Party Panda meeple, and 4 coins, which is already getting a little messy. What am I going to do with this pile, and what is everyone else going to do with their pile? Well, we're all going to start stacking our pieces on the ship. This object here becomes the actual puzzle piece of the gameplay experience. We're going to go around in turns, each of us stacking, I believe, 2 pieces at a time on this ship until someone causes it to collapse. We'll continue stacking in turn order until finally everything starts to fall, getting higher and higher and more complex as the game goes. When it falls, of course, you lose, and other players will continue stacking until everyone has lost and there is a declared victor. The goal is to have more things on the turtle ship So you're trying to stack as much of your stuff as possible. All right, moving on down, we have the tallest party hat. So this is going to be a game where you take and stack your 4 dice up into a nice little tower. Then using only your pinkies, you're going to have a 30-second timer where you pick up, it's very hard actually, where you pick up your stack of dice and try to move it around the board, touching every single island. I can't even get one. I don't know what's happening, but you're going to move it around the board, touching every single island, scoring 1 point per island that you can tap on your way around. See if I can get one. I can't even get one. So you can see how that puzzle works out. The most islands touched is going to be the victor. Next, we're going to have a little game called Floating Turtles. You'll go ahead and place out a series of cards in islands, a row of 3 by 3. And here you're going to have your meeples placed down on each one. Now, whenever you move, you're going to be flipping one of these cards, making it inactive, making it so someone can't move on to it. You either flip it or you take it off. Either way, I think you might remove it. When you run out of places that you can move, you lose the game. So it's a little hopscotch, like little, floating turtles. That makes sense. As you jump onto them, they're sinking into the ocean. They're disappearing because they don't really like pandas hopping on their back. And if you end up in the water, you, of course, lose the game. Very quick, very simple, very, very fun. But this one, of course, is a little bit more of a strategic puzzle. It's not as luck-based, because you have to think through where you're going to move and how you're going to screw over the other people playing the game. Moving on down, we have confetti cannonballs. This is going to use the box itself. Gets set down here on the board. You're going to have a set of maps, and you're going to be throwing them, trying to get them to land in the box. Now, you'll be a little bit farther away than I am sitting here showing off the preview, but that's the core concept, like throwing cards with a target here in the center of the board. And I really like how they're incorporating every single element of the game they can find into the actual puzzle and play of the game experience. Moving on down, we have termites in the mast. So this is going to be a stacking-based game, kind of like Jenga in a way. One at a time, you're going to be going through and each adding another level to the game board. And we've seen how good I am at this with picking them up, but this will get more and more unbalanced and wobbly as the game goes on. And your goal is to not be the person that causes all of it to collapse just like that. The last one standing is going to be the victor, and there's a secret objective to try to get, I think, 16 high, or maybe 12 high. I don't know. Either way, it sounds very ambitious to me. And the final example that we have here of the game is going to be splitting this deck in two, and you're going to be flipping, trying not to get pandas. There's a star, there's a shell, there's a panda hat. I think the panda hat might be what you're... No, there really is full-on pandas. If you get a panda, you lose the game. So a little bit of a pressure of luck, but you can see how potentially you're going to resolve each card based on the back of it. So, flipping this over. One of the objectives for that, by the way, the secret objective you're going for, is to make it the whole way through a stack of cards without hitting a panda at all. Probably only possible if you're playing with 5 or 6 players. The game does play the whole way up to 6 players, and you have other people luckily hit pandas before you do. Those are only 6 of the potential 18-plus games they're going to have in this, and every time you play, you're only going to be experimenting with 6 of them in any number of combinations. The players will choose where they put them down on the islands. So the chaos, the craziness, and the variability here is very, very high for an accessible, family-based party game. And you can see how it combines a little bit of pressure luck, a little bit of dexterity, and a little bit of strategic thinking, or puzzly type games and approaches. Like I said, there's more information over on the Kickstarter, so you can swing over there and check out some of the names and how some of the different puzzles that aren't in my prototype function and operate. If you know anything from the other games that have been released by this same studio, they're very good at putting out very fun, very interesting, very well-produced, high-quality family games. So I have no doubt that the other games that are coming out are going to be the same level of interest, fun, and creativity that this prototype has here. After you win one of the mini games, you'll then roll your dice. Of course, depending on where you are here, you'll gain rewards and you'll move around the board. If you land on a red arrow, you'll potentially lose a coin. If you land on a black arrow, you'll potentially gain a coin. And if you sweep through those treasure chests, you'll get the equivalent of 7 coins, or you'll pick up a treasure chest, leading to a hopeful endgame victory. After 6 rounds, whoever has the most treasure and the most coins will be the ultimate victor. So that's Party Panda Pirates. It's fun, it's accessible, and it holds a lot of value for family-oriented games. I'm excited to see this one coming out. I'm excited to see the Kickstarter's already doing extremely well. And like I said, I do intend to have a non-sponsored, non-affiliated gameplay video with a few of my friends here on the channel soon. I've got to get a group of 3 or 4 people together so we can sit down, drink some bourbon, and just have a good time. If you have any questions or you want to, ask about some of the mini games or talk about your excitement around this game, feel free to leave a comment down below. Whatever you do, though, swing over to the Kickstarter, check out the page, and of course, if you're a fan of Draco Studios, if you're a fan of Mario Party, you should consider backing this one and getting it to the table. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Whatever the case, though, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. I'll see you next time.